The NGM guys, in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to retrieve all the NFTs associated with a Solana wallet address. And in this video, we're going to be doing something different, right? So we're not going to be interacting with a smart contract or a Solana program like it's called on Solana, right? We're going to use APIs, right? We're going to do this plainly with APIs, and the aim of this video is to show you guys that we can pretty much do anything we want to do on the blockchain by using APIs, right? So for this, we're going to be using these guys called quicknode. You can also use Helios if you want to, right? So Helios RPC or Helios APIs, both of them work the same way, right? So you can pretty much like do anything with Helios, and they have like a very good documentation, like very good, right? So like backed by the top guys, right? Build and scale your app on Solana, developer tools, anything you want to do, webhooks, WebSockets, custom functions. This is like your Firebase for, right? This is like your Firebase for, but like Web3 Firebase, right? But for this video, we're going to be using quicknode, right? So what you should do is you should create an account, get your API key, and I'm going to show you how you can add add-ons, and especially the DAS add-on we're going to be using. So like in other videos, there is a custom UI, right? You can download this UI to follow along, so you can follow along as I'm coding with this video. And then after this video, you can also get like the completed product. I'm going to also push that, so it's going to be in a different repository, and the link is going to be somewhere around the video too, right? So what we're going to do is going to copy this, and then we're going to clone it in our terminal, right? So for this, after the end of this video, our app should look something like this, something similar to this, right? So you should be able to like fetch, the user should be able to input their wallet address and click on this button to fetch APIs. This button makes an API call, right? And with that API call, we're going to like get all of this, right? So want to do this want to do this at the home screen, right? On the desktop. So we're going to clone it. So we're going to command into that repository. Then we're going to open our code there. Right, so as that is opening, let's close this up, because right, so the next thing we're going to do is open our terminal here, run that pubget. There's also a little issue here. We're going to comment this out for now, because we're going to create the file later on, right? So let's just, right, so as that is running and the linters are warming up, everything is, the code editor is trying to catch up. Let's just, so how this is going to work is, right, after you create your account, you're probably going to land on this like home page, right? So you're going to create a new endpoint, right? You're going to create a new endpoint. It is with this endpoint now, you're going to like, this is going to be your RPC provider to connect with like the Solana client, right? um we're not going to be using WebSocket, but if you're going to be using WebSocket and whatever you're doing, you're going to use this link, right? I don't think there's that here, like it doesn't matter, right? um After that, you're going to come to this add-ons page, right? You're going to click on add-ons. I don't know why it's not clicking. I'm not connected. Right, so for this video, what we're going to be using is this Solana digital asset standard. The naming might probably have changed whenever you're going to be like seeing it, because it used to be Metaplex digital asset standard. Right now it's Solana digital asset standard. They're constantly moving, like this space moves very fast, right? But it's still going to be pretty much the same. You're going to see something like digital asset standard, right? I don't think that's going to change. um as you can see, you can pretty much do anything with these guys. If you want to launch coins, you want to get all coin data, priority fee, token metrics, there's a lot of things you can do, including forex, right? Pretty much anything you want to do, right? Pretty much anything you want to do on chain. Imagine crypto data API too. But for this one, we're just going to be using the digital asset standard API, right? So you're going to add this to your RPC as an add-on. Right, so if you want to get started using it, they have a very good blog. You can check out the blog, right? So I told you it used to be. I don't think they updated this blog recently, but if they did, maybe here is now Solana DAS instead of Metaplex DAS, right? So the blog is very very detailed. Everything you need to know. The link to this blog is also going to be somewhere around the video, right? So you're going to catch it there, right? So if you want to check it out real quick and you're maybe on Mac on Linux, right? You can just paste this into your terminal, right? Your bash ZSH, paste it into your terminal and then run it. It's going to like give you JSON output, right? Right. It's going to give you JSON output of like what that's pretty much what we're doing. We're just making an RPC call, an API call to the RPC, and then it's giving us the list of all the NFTs in the wallet, right? But what we're going to be using is get assets by owner, right? That's what we're going to be using. So by now the code should, yeah, it should be ready for me, right? So what I'm going to do now is, because I'm debugging wirelessly, I'm going to start running it, right? So it might take some time. So as we start running it, we'll start whatever we're going to be doing. So the first thing we're going to do is to create this file. So an NFT feature, it's just going to be like a class that is helping us to interact with the API, right? It's nothing much. Right, so if you check our pub spec here, you're going to see HTTP and Solana, right? So probably do not even need Solana here because we're just going to be making an API call, right? So yeah, I want to import HTTP, right? HTTP dart such. Alright, so that works. Next thing, we want to create a class Solana NFT fetcher. So in this class, the first thing we want to do is to create a variable that is going to like hold the link to a variable that is going to hold our base URL, right? The base URL will just get it from over here. Um, right, so HTTP provider. If we're going to be using WebSockets, this is the URL we're going to be using, but don't need other complex resource. HTTP doesn't exist. Oh, all right. So next thing we're going to be doing is to create another class that is going to help us to model our NFT so that we'll be able to use it in the front end. As we saw in the representation of like what we're going to be delivering, we're going to like create a front end here. So we're going to need to have like a model of what we need from the whole data, because trust me, it's like a very bogus data. Even for that, let's oh dot JSON. So like be able to so I created this file because in case we want to, don't worry, we're going to see why I created this file later on in this video. But yeah, let's continue. So this NFT data is what we use in our front end. If you build Flutter apps, you should know what your model your model class does for you. Now we're just going to be creating constructors. And so now the next and only thing we'll be doing in this file is to create a function that is going to help us to like make the API call, right? Right. So um this function is going to, let's make it void for now, right? But it's going to return a feature of of list of NFT data, right? So NFT by user, right? So it's going to be an async function because we're going to await the reply. And if you saw the UI previously, you know that we are taking in the string from the user. Right? We're not using Solana by client here, so hence why we're taking in this parameter, this function, right? You're wondering what I'm typing in. Most of it is here, right? Most of it is in that call function, right? It's just pretty much um application desync for the content type. Just pretty much like putting in this back into it, right? I think our app is running already. Yeah, import that convert. To avoid any issues, I want to copy this as it is, right? Just because I can. Haha. I think the highest these guys can do is 1,000, right? So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. We have pretty much done the API request here. The next thing we want to do is to map our response to this. But if you do API requests frequently, you know that we just want to check the status of our API, like the API request, whether it was successful or not. So if it is successful, then we can do like all of this, right? Cannot open file, blah 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 blah. Compiler quit unexpectedly. So I'm going to try to run it again. I think it just disconnected for some odd reason. Yeah, because things were changing too fast in the code base. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Running it again. Here we want to log whatever we get from the API just to like, right, just to see, how it looks. Yeah, so get that JSON file, and then I'm going to put it here so we can like try to map it, because it's JSON and this is that, this is not JavaScript. So we're going to try to map it to become a type of NFT data, then return it here. So to do that, we would want to initialize our Solana NFT feature class, right? So we can like be able to like do that actually. So on button pressed, Solana NFT feature dot fetch NFT by user. And for this wallet address, right, we're just going to use this my own wallet address here, because like we're fetching on minutes. Oops, for some reason that did not copy. Right, so we're fetching on minutes, so we have to use like something where show as like tokens, no NFTs in it, right? Yeah. So once it comes up, click the fetch NFTs button and see what happens in the console. Alright, so I just want to drag it over here. You really need so much. Alright, so click the button. Right, so this is the JSON response that we get. Oh, that's so short. Interesting. Oh, and I have my extension that helps me to beautify JSON. This extension. So I just press Ctrl Shift J and it just beautified it immediately. So now we can like see what we're working with, right? And we can now be able to like map what we get back to our model class over here, right? So the image, for image we're going to use something like image, no results. How? It doesn't have image. What have I fetched? Oreo, I can't see. I think I've fetched the wrong thing. Yeah, fetch get token account, not get assets by owner. Right, so this is why this is very important, right? So let's go back and try that again. Because we couldn't get image, right? So if we try it again, we should be able to. Just waiting for it to reload. Wireless debugging and its trade-offs. Speed. Exactly. So oh wow. Auto reloading is taking forever. Okay. That's it. I think it has left me behind. Crazy. Hopefully the I know it's auto starting, but hopefully the function runs and we get what we need in the terminal. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Oh, it does. Nice. I can auto start all it wants. Yeah, I knew the other one was so short. Like, how is it so short? Oh. Control Shift J and it beautifies it. Now we can get our image and see how image works. So to get image now, we're going to oh my god, we're going to go through content. We're going to go through metadata, and then we're going to go to links because this one doesn't have any image, right? It's probably a scam NFT, but like you get the idea. Oh, it's not a scam NFT, but it just doesn't have, or the image is over here instead. But we're not going to like use this or this. We're just going to use this image straight up to reduce the time. But like if you're building a production level like app, you should like be able to like check everywhere like that. So that's pretty much it. That is going to be a future of lists, future of list of NFT data, right? I think that's what we need. So now for the process of mapping it, you may ask why am I doing this, right? We're trying to so this is what we have currently. This is the body that we have. We're now like entering this result, picking this result object from the JSON, right? If you're cool with APIs, you already know what we're doing. So what we still have is the response pure. But the response body is supposed to be like the data, right? No, this is not even necessary. And just put it here straight up. Response dot body. The string cannot be. It's supposed to decode this first. Interesting. Okay. Right. So that makes a lot more sense. Now just to avoid. I was loving this keyboard, but then now I hate it. Just to avoid errors, we're just going to put that there as like a catch. What do we do here? We picked out this object, right? Already picked it out here. Now what we want to do is to pick out this from inside of this, right? If is that correct? Yeah, items, right? So just in case, right? Because JSON can be very funny in that, right? So we know that assets here cannot be empty, so there is no need to do this, right? Next thing is we want to return that asset, but like we're going to map it. What object are we mapping it to? NFT data. So we're going to pick each asset as an object. And we're going to try to return it as NFT data that our app will understand, right? So to avoid any errors here, we're just going to throw an exception. Some error occurred, right? Lot of errors. Oh my god, lots of errors. And we're also going to be mapping here. Hopefully, we come out of this alive, right? Oh my god, reds are everywhere. Why is the mint address this? If you're wondering, you can see we've already picked out items, right? So now we want to, okay, this is the mint address, obviously, right? So that's why we passed it to the why that's why we passed ID to mint address here. To get the name now, what we're going to do is we're going to pass content, then inside content, we're going to put metadata, then name, right? The same the same pattern, right? No, not ID, content, content first, then here we're going to pick, I think, metadata, right? Then here we're going to pick name, to string, in case it is in case it's messing up. We'll just, my god, put that there, right? Content, metadata, then name, right? So what else? Right, so it's pretty much something similar for every one of them, like that. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to continue this video. Alright, so that is done. Here we're um going to try to return empty strings, right? Symbol image, URL image. So now we're going to map it to list. Oh, that's where all the errors went. What happened here? Right. So mint address empty. That works. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Right. Where do we have again? So tired of errors. This should be async. Oh, this keyboard can be annoying sometimes. Right, so I've tried to map it now. The next things we are going to be doing is check how what we've done in our UI. Hopefully it works, hopefully it doesn't. Right, so we would want to create a function here, right, to interact with the service. Yeah, we're going to pass in our wallet controller or trim. So let's make sure that the wallet controller actually, yeah, so it gets the value. And then next thing I want to do is to set state, right? So does this, so let's try this, right? um list of NFT data, right? Call it um so, so when that fetches, want to just set state, and then now over here we can use that empty NFT data, right? NFTs is equal to empty list. Want to return this guy, right? If it is not, then we can say let's say return a column that's going to contain a grid grid view. So where we're getting this error is probably there's a const somewhere, valid constant value, right? So just crazy. Zero now. Alright, so next I want to do item builder. So where is the next error coming from? Alright, so you're going to put in name. Alright, so when it loads, going to test like check out what we've done. What I've just been working on since is just like UI. Like UI is so, but the scope is just to like show you guys what's possible, right? As that has taken its time, let's just check this out. Like with this, you can also with quick node, like it's just like a lot simpler because it abstracts away like all the complex stuff you're supposed to be doing, right? If you're using that to like do it on your own, right? So yeah, it's a lot faster, right? Because of the optimized infrastructure, right? They are built to like scale, so it will definitely be a lot faster, right? As you can see how fast it is from like the terminal already. It's reliable, as you said, it's scalable, then it's comprehensive. Like this method now, this way, like has already fetched all the NFTs because NFTs have different standards, but this guy is already like he already like solved everything, right? Except you want to do it on your own explicitly. But these guys like they've solved everything. Then you have to like filter out what you want. Then out of like it, that's pretty much it's very rich data, right? And as you can see, because we're just making an API call, it means that we're like reduce development time. If you're building for maybe obviously every builder these days just wants to like um get out their products in the fastest time possible. And with quick node, you can like do that very easily, right? Then cost efficiency. I mean, because of the reduced development time, obviously, like it's cost efficient. Then you have other advanced features like webhooks, real time trading APIs, and every other things. Like it's just like the Firebase of Web3. It's pretty much that's pretty much what it is. So it should have loaded by now. Right, right. Yeah, we should call fetch NFT. Hmm. Downgrade viewed data. Yeah, this should be a column. Uh, right. So I already saved the key here, wallet address, our account, all the same thing. Right. So I want to fetch that and see into our logs, and hopefully it works once. Right. Hopefully it does. So I've gotten the response. Waiting for the UI to probably like catch up, which might not. Honestly, I don't know why it's not working. Turn NFT data. Let me log the error here. It's fetching. Ah, It's probably from the UI side, right? Well, let's not log this response again. Let's log the map instead. Return NFC data to list. I said this now. Fine now. And list is equal to this. I want to log that list. Pretty much sure it wouldn't log, just like ton of NFT data. Type of NFT data. Empty list. Alright, so the list is empty for some reason. Why is it empty? Data, items. That this is empty. Accept that the items is empty. Let's see if result is empty. Because we know that data is not empty. Right, so what have we done wrong? Result is result is not empty, is it? I don't think it is. I think this is the result. Probably not points profile. Let's try that again. Alright, so result is not empty, but oh, that's probably what caused it. So from assets, we're supposed to continue from results, right? So that's what caused it, guys. That's what caused it. So now I'll probably like try it again and hopefully it does work. Although for some reason the UI is not showing this, it's not showing this, which is supposed to be showing. So I believe it should work this time. Alright, so that's it. GG's, GG's. So in a production level application, so it's not showing here yet, but it's like it like shows on my emulator already. Yeah, so now it shows in a production level application, right? You're going to want to filter these NFTs because some of them are probably like scam, right? Or like the idea of this tutorial video is to show you guys that they are like back-end services that you can use without like getting your hands dirty with Solana programs. You can just quickly spin up whatever you want to do. Just check it out. Check out quicknode. Check out Helios. They're probably like others that are similar to it, right? So thank you for joining today's video. See you in the next one.